what it means making film politically. Making film politically is about the idea that, first of all, I am a citizen, then I am an artist. And in this regard, the BDS calls to do two modalities of boycott. I will explain myself. First, there is the question of going to Israel, to festival, Jerusalem Film Festival, Tel Aviv, Doc Aviv, students, Tel Aviv University Film Festival, etc., etc. Going to Israel in this situation, which is a non-normal situation, to go to the festival, to show my film as a foreigner, to go to cocktails, to have parties, this means to normalize a non-normal situation. And the idea of the boycott is to denormalize the state of Israel, which means that our aim is that the Israeli flag won't appear anymore in Cannes, won't appear anymore in Venice, because we don't want to be part and together with a state which is a racist, colonial, and a genocidal state. Which means that going to Israel, to a film festival, going to Israel to show my film, and to meet kind of good people is to give the impression that there is something normal in the non-normality. So first and above all is the idea of denormalize Israel in our attitude. We don't show films in Israel. We don't go to show films in institutions which are accomplished by the fact that they belong to the same government, which is the genocidal government. So this is the first thing. It's about our participation from abroad. I will even make it strong. The biggest distributor of films in Israel, 80% of the foreign films that are being shown in Israel are by one distributor, the biggest distributor. This distributor, which is the company United Kings, is led by one of the biggest supporters of Netanyahu. This is one. And also it happened to be that the president of this distribution company, the distribute international films in Israel, he is president and financier of a film festival in the occupied territory, which is illegal from point of view of international legality. So it's not just about showing my films in film festival in Israel, it's also about selling my film to a distribution company that the head of that company is a supporter of somebody that, as you know, he is researched today by the International Justice Court for genocide. So a person, an international artist that goes to Israel, that shows his film of Israel, or even a distribution company that will sell their films to this company in Israel, from the point of view of BDS, the campaign, and the guideline, can be boycotted abroad, which means I'm going to Israel, I'm showing my film, I'm coming back to Italy, and I can be boycotted on the base of complicity with organizations that belong to the same big mafia organization that we call the State of Israel. So this is when it comes to artists from abroad. Now, there is the question, and the very difficult question, which is the question of the boycott of cultural product coming from Israel. And in this regard, the guidelines are absolutely clear. I've said, we do not look at the content of the cultural product. We don't care if the film is a nice, good film that denounces, for example, settlement. This is not the question. We don't look if that actual film is a film that is supporting the government. We are looking at the modalities of the production, and we are looking at the positioning of the cultural actors in regard of the situation. What it means? It means that if I'm today, as an Israeli maker, uses government money by the Israeli embassy in Italy, for example, in order to finance my ticket, in order to finance the transport of my crew to an international film festival, I am immediately under boycott. Why? Because in this moment, I'm stopping to be just a cultural actor. I'm becoming an ambassador. I am allowing the state to stamp my position as a position of representative of the state. What we are looking through the boycott campaign is to put a split, to cut relations between cultural actors and the state, which means we are asking cultural actors to take position about the state. Taking position, which means is to denounce state politics and to be solidar with the Palestinians through the boycott campaign. You will come and you will tell me, but how it's possible if I'm a filmmaker to cut my ties with the state? Well, it happened to be that Israel, which is not a democracy, Israel is an apartheid state. When it comes to Israeli Jews, it is a democracy. There is no censorship on Israeli Jews in Israel. There is no censorship and there is no danger on Israeli Jewish filmmakers. Why? Because it's apartheid state and because we, included me, we belong to the white part of the society. So if there is no censorship, and if I'm not in danger and I am not taking position clearly, it means that I am immediately in the side of the complicity. So it's not a situation, for example, of countries like, I don't know, Iran, that if you as a filmmaker, you take position, you are in danger. The contrary, what there is as a modality of censorship, which is the biggest censorship in Israel, it's the self-censorship of the cultural actors that refuse to take position. Why? In order to belong to the Israeli tribe and to get advantages of the privilege that gives an apartheid society always to the white part. What we are trying through the boycott campaign, this is my understanding, is to jeopardize the privilege of the most privileged, which are the Israeli filmmakers, for example. But you can come in to say, to put pressure on these good people, to put pressure on the cultural the cultural production might radicalize the state of Israel and might radicalize them. Should I remind that there is no need to radicalize? I mean, after more than 60,000 people killed, almost 20,000 kids being massacred in Gaza, with more than 12,000 prisoners, political prisoners in the state, what kind of radicality the state of Israel can take because we are putting them on pressure? The contrary. The BDS is about sending a message to the Israeli society and to the civil society. If you want to be considered as part of the normal international family of states, you have to take position which is a position of humanism against tribalism. And this is the message of BDS, which means stop acting without the tribe, within the tribe, because the tribe takes from you the possibility to belong to something which is bigger, which is the international scene.